So it's all well and good making a zero-knowledge proof game, but it's really no fun unless you can interact with the other players with a forum. So I'm going to be making a message forum using Firebase functions and the Ethereum standard for signing into a server. So first, let's look at the sign in with Ethereum documentation. It's a fairly simple standard proposal. It is suggesting a simple signing of a standard message, whereby the message must include the address, domain, version, chain ID, URI, nonce, and issued at timestamp. And it's signed with your traditional EIP-4361. So here is the message format. And the one very clear reason why this standard is terrible is you've got this word Ethereum here. I don't see why that word needs to be there. So if you look at the chain agnostic improvement proposals, there currently isn't one for this sign in with Ethereum. So I'm going to write a simple test script for this standard here. So here's a simple test script using the ethers library. So we need a domain, address, statement, URI, version, chain ID, nonce, and timestamp. And here I've got a template string, and I'm just putting those variables in. And then we sign with a wallet and get the signature. So if I call this script, so we've generated the signature for that message. So here's a demonstration of the sign-in with Ethereum address. Here we get presented with the message that we built up in the front end. We sign it. And then that signature data gets sent to Firebase along with the arguments that are needed to recreate the message. Then if the signature is valid, the backend can potentially respond with data. So here is the function that the front end is calling, get posts. So first, the backend checks that the required arguments have been sent with a message. Then the backend validates the signature with the passed arguments. So if the backend verifies that the signature was signed by the address that was passed as an argument, the backend then checks to see how old the signature is, and then the backend checks to see if the address has been cached as a valid address. If not, a call is made to the contract to see if it's a valid address. In the contract, I added a mapping scene address, and this is just a flag which is set when a player joins the game or starts a game. And then the backend can use this flag to know whether or not it should respond to the request. So if the front end sent a request with a valid signature, the backend then knows it can respond with data. So I'm just using test data at the moment, and here's my simple schema: an ID, a tag, which will be used to filter, and then the message, timestamp, and the account number. As a result of needing a valid signature and the contract to have had set a flag, only people who participate in the zero knowledge card game are allowed to retrieve data and to post in this chat room. Which means that you can post outrageous stuff like statism is a failed religion, and only people who are taking part in the zero knowledge card game will be able to see your post. The do post function is very similar to the get post function. So the front end sends the required arguments and the signature so that the back end can verify that the client is able to do a post, and then the back end writes to the database and replies with an acknowledgement. So I'm just going to finish off that code here. So here's the end result with data being written to the document store. So signature data is getting retrieved from the cache, so I don't need to sign with my wallet each time. And then the call is made to the backend function, and we get a acknowledgement so that we can add the data to our message posting. Evidently, I need to order the posts by the timestamp. So there we have a smart contract gate-kept message forum that utilizes the sign-in with Ethereum standard.